Open a networking textbook and you are immediately hit with a wall of acronyms. Acronyms like 10BASE-T or 100BASE-TX and even 802.3. It looks like an intimidating random alphanumeric soup. But without this specific jargon, you could buy a network switch from a company in Japan, plug it into a server manufactured in Texas, and find they sit in total silence. They wouldn't know how to send or receive a single byte of data. To prevent that hardware nightmare, the industry relies on standards. These are strict universal rulebooks that force manufacturers to program their devices to speak the exact same digital language. The Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, the IEEE, writes these rules. And if you are plugging into a wired network today, you are relying on one specific standard family known as 802.3. It governs nearly every wired local area network on Earth. Decoding 802.3 reveals how equipment from different brands can connect and function without specialized adapters or custom software. Before specifying what type of physical cables to use, the 802.3 rulebook dictates exactly how network devices must behave before they are even allowed to transmit data. The core protocol for this is CSMA-CD, Carrier Sense Multiple Access with Collision Detection. It is a set of instructions designed to manage data collisions on a shared wire. This diagram shows a cable connecting two devices. First, a device listens to check if the line is clear. If two devices send data simultaneously, a collision occurs. The devices send a jam signal, wait a random millisecond, and try again. Computers perform this sequence thousands of times per second. It is the invisible protocol that manages these errors, allowing the network to maintain its flow even as traffic levels increase. Once the behavioral rules are set, the standard outlines physical requirements using a three-part naming pattern. These spec sheets are actually simple, predictable codes. Take 10BASE-T. We can break it into three sections. The opening number represents speed in megabits per second, scaling to 100 or 1000 for faster networks. Base means baseband, dedicating the cable to one signal. Finally, T stands for twisted pair copper. If you change that final letter to an SX or an LR, the physical reality changes from copper wiring to fiber optic lasers that can easily travel for several kilometers. This three-part structure allows an engineer to look at any network link and identify both the speed limit and the specific physical materials required to run it. By applying this naming pattern, the chaotic spec sheets from earlier now read as a clear set of architectural instructions. However, there is a final dependency between a high-speed standard and the physical category of the cable. If you attempt to run a gigabit standard like 10,000-base-T through an old Cat5 cable, the network will underperform. The cable simply cannot keep up with the data rate. Higher speeds require stricter physical tolerances. To maintain signal integrity, high-performance cables use tighter twist ratios and better shielding to prevent interference. Understanding Ethernet standards is the practical tool for future-proofing a network and controlling costs. It allows you to select the exact hardware needed to build an efficient, reliable digital environment.